Yes, it's recording. Okay, cool. So when we look at earth signs, we think investment. This is your thumb. When we look at your pointer finger, this is air signs. This is making a decision. So when you point at something, this is why they say pointing's rude, is because you're making a decision and you're telling everyone. Humans like to be secretive because we're weird. Middle finger is fire, which is that, you know, taking action, decisive energy. Your ring finger is represented by water. This is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Middle finger is fire, Aries, Sag, Leo. Pointer finger is air, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Your thumb is Capricorn, Taurus, as well as Virgo. So those are the four elements. I will say, just to finish up the finger, the last finger is represented by spirit. So that's why, have you ever seen someone with a pinky ring on?
Yeah, Jack Sparrow.
Perfect. He is a spirit. I'm glad you said the name. I wasn't going to pick anybody. Pinky rings they're a very spiritual thing. And whenever you put a ring on your finger, you're actually, in a way, binding that finger. And if you don't know or do know your chart, it can tell you which element you should be working with. So one of my first readings was with a man from Indonesia, and he taught me, you know, what stones, crystals I should be wearing as a Pisces sun and an Aries rising and a Sag moon, because you can apply things to your sun sign, but there's so much more going on in your chart. And that's why it's important to understand why you stand out as an individual and why other people cannot truthfully be judged based on their sign. So next we have, so that's the elements in a gist. Those are my meanings and my interpretations. Some of the traditional meanings with earth signs, we will see things like stable. We'll see an individual with earth sign placements be called boring. The reason why I actually do like that word boring is because boring means deep. When you look at the actual context, boring means to go underneath. And earth signs are very good at going underneath their feelings and finding tangible meaning or tangible responses towards them. And if you can't get an earth sign to be friendly, that's on you. That's how I feel. Next, we'll look at air signs. Air signs are the decision makers because they use their mind and their thought as action. They are the Geminis, the Libras, and the Aquarius. They are the overthinkers, but they process information well. So a lot of these signs have high mental capabilities. I will say air signs are more often clairaudient, clairsentient things. Actually, earth signs are clairsentient. And these are just spiritual gifts that everyone comes in with. It's just, are you willing to develop them? And astrology shows us these tools. And when I do my own readings with my clients, I really try to tap into these tools within spirituality that are hidden inside of the chart. And a lot of readers only, they only give the meanings of the planets and the things like this, which is great. But I feel like we should be going a bit deeper. So if you have another spiritual practice, find how it aligns with astrology, especially the elements. Once you can tap into the elements, this is going to help you tell the story. So, for example, today we have Vesta. Beautiful. We have beautiful Vesta in Virgo at 18 degrees. Vesta is it's a point that represents service, and it talks about what we do. This is on the collective level, by the way, for everyone, at least I guess within my country. Vesta talks about service and how what it's like the service that we do is going to apply to the Virgo side of us. And the benefit of Vesta is the more service, community service, like us being in this room together is community service because there's more than three of us. Us communing together is going to bring organization. When I think of Virgo, for example, I think organization. Same thing with Taurus and Capricorn, they just do it for different reasons. Because again, they love being tangible, they like being physical, and they see everything as an investment. So here with this Vesta in Virgo, what we're seeing is an earth sign for the collective, which is just a nice, cool observation. When I go over here to Pluto, by the way, I'm using this system called Luna Astrology. If you're interested, I do have a discount code. You can buy it it's really inexpensive for a year. It's like between 50 and 30 for a whole year.
I don't know if we can see it, son. I still only see grade school astrology. Does anybody else see it?
I'm the same. I'm seeing the Google grade school astrology.
Oh, let's go with this. Boom. LOL.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate. So okay, I'll show you Vesta. This is Vesta. This is a symbol of Vesta. It represents service. In astrology, it's what we give when we give, the luck that we build. Vesta right now is in Virgo. So Virgo is the servant. Anytime we serve right now, serve others, serve groups, we create luck because it's an investment. Everything that you do on a planetary level while you're alive, this is why people who do good things succeed more often, is because they're investing. And if you do it mindfully, if you do it just right, you will see it as an investment into the universe rather than a person or a community service or an act. You are putting money into the universe working. How do you feel about that? Everyone can answer.
I like that.
Yeah, I really like thinking about the earth signs in terms of like investment. Like that clicks in my head. Thank you.
Especially Capricorns.
Scorpio. So it's very hard for me to see investing as investing in the universe. For me, it feels like I'm depositing in an individual. And so it's easy for me to get disheartened when an individual to whom I'm doing good ends up not paying me back. Not paying me back, but like ends up not reciprocating or something. So it's hard. I agree with you. I think with the plus and minuses on a planetary level, you're investing in the universe, not in an individual. And that's something I need to work on reframing, because you're right. It's bigger than one person.
Right. And when we give to that one person, it's not that one person because they have humans that are connected to them as well karmically. So it's impossible.
I can see that. Mm-hmm.
It took me a little bit to get used to that. I mean, as a Pisces, I always felt it, but I wasn't able to bring it into words. My Sag moon makes it so like things just feel really profound, and that's kind of how we're getting to this conversation. So I'm super excited to teach you how I kind of see things.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard for me to project this into the screen very quickly. So Having a sit down like this is grand. It's a grand time. So that's earth signs. Next, do we want to clarify earth or air signs anymore?
Mm-mm.
Daniel or Sarah?
No, I think I got it.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
And then for the fire signs, do we need to go? Would you like to go any further?
I think I've grasped it. And my like background is, or not background, but like I've studied Ayurveda a lot. And so this is like really like, it's so based on elementals. So this is like a really, it's helping me understand this.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Ayurvedic, everything is amazing. I'll just tell you, because this is going up anyways. I'm transitioning into Vedic astrology. I've been studying for over a year now and feel comfortable. But Western astrology is what I found when I was 11. So I was like, I'm going to teach as many people as I can and transfer over because Vedic astrology deals a lot with yoga and it shows us the different chakras. There are more than 7 chakras. There are chakras throughout our entire body. And the way I was speaking on our hands earlier, there are chakras within our hands. And um, when we do things, at this point, we've become so mindless that we forget that we have energy stored in our hands. So we don't even clear our fingers. We just walk around all day. And a lot of us don't practice feng shui. And we wonder why our life isn't going in a way that we choose. It's going in a way that our environment's set up for based on our programming, which is not for us, at least long term. So yeah, let's tap into what's next on the list.
Water.
Water. Thank you. So water is one of my favorites. I see water as creativity. Everyone who's an astrologer and their grandma outside of me will say it's emotions, feelings, all this other crap. It's creativity. The only reason why we come into this world we come into experience and to feel things and to repeat stories that we already know but we forget. And that's why we admire people who remind us, is because they're reminding us of ourselves. We see ourselves in them. So creativity is rooted in emotions. When someone sings a sad song and you can feel the emotions and you just know that feeling because it's happened before, that's creativity. Now, whenever I see a water sign that is chronically depressed, it's because they're not being creative. This can go with anyone. And creativity is very simple. It's a matter of expression. And I learned this personally through my Chiron, which is in Leo. When I don't express myself romantically, creatively, just any way possible, I create blockages because my energy is meant to go out. So when I look at a water sign with Leo placements, they have to express. They have no option. And that is their way of healing. That is their way of creating beauty into the world. A lot of us, the reason why we want to start YouTube channels, make music, do art, all of these beautiful things is because we don't want to be forgotten. We come into this world hoping to write our story, and so that the people that we interacted with and the people that they interact with hopefully remember us or remember something that we remember. We're really just passing down wisdom. When we look at songs, books, videos, things like this, we're trying to carve ourselves into what is the new tablet of, ruins. Because every great kingdom must fall. It's a repetitive story. There's no doubt about it. So when we are doing creative things, we are etching ourselves into existence for a little bit longer, hoping that it lasts longer than our bodies. At least that's my situation. I don't know about anyone else, but long term is kind of how I see things. I have several Capricorn placements, so I see everything long term. How do you feel about that water explanation?
Yeah, I have water, sun, moon, and rising. That really resonates. And I do get depressed if I'm not creating. It's like very, very clear.
Yeah. And with that much water, I would always be making something.
What's interesting is my career is in science. I am very scientific, very mind heavy in science. But I didn't find my happiness until I started dancing and creativity and performing. That's when I really started to feel happy. There's water all up and down my chart. And so this doesn't surprise me.
That's amazing. Dance is so good. Pisces placements need to move their feet. I'm realizing this. I just turned 27 and I definitely have been dancing more because I'm understanding. Interesting. I definitely bought Zoom. Okay. Let's look at the form. It's a Pisces moon and I didn't exactly plan for it. So what we'll do here. What else did I have on the agenda? Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go over houses because that's just easier. Okay. So for houses, it's pretty easy. The way I'm gonna break it down, there's 12 houses and there's 4 cycles. So there's 4 quarters when you look at a chart. I'm gonna fix this chart so it's super easy for us to read here. Okay, this is my chart. My chart's in order. It's as in, when I say in order, the ascendant's on Aries, which I have an Aries rising. So if you ever see someone with an Aries rising, essentially, what I've noticed is that they get better with time because things go in order in their chart. Of course, everything goes in order, but people just start at different places with the ascendant. So that's why the ascendant is the starting line here, right there. So we're going to go through the houses 1 through 12. 1, 2, 3, and 4 go fire, earth, air, water. And then it goes fire, earth, air, water, fire, earth, air, water, just like that. And that's going to be super helpful because we just learned the elements, right? So when we take into account the modalities is where we find the signs in the actual chart. Modalities are the 3 different characteristics of each sign possibility. So the first modality or the beginning modality are the cardinal signs. I call them the leaders as well as the action takers. The next set is the fixed signs. These are the patient people who are patient with their decisions typically. Of course, many things can affect that. Next is going to be the mutable signs. I see the mutable signs as the ones who do everything and can do everything, but sometimes choose to do nothing, which is also super helpful sometimes. So with the cardinal signs, we see Aries. And the nice thing is, When you have a chart, you can see very quickly, like, oh, here's Aries, and right across is Libra. So those right there, because they're opposites, they are in the same modality. They are both cardinal signs. Aries is the fire cardinal sign. Libra is the air cardinal sign. When I go down towards the bottom here, Cancer is perpendicular to Aries, making it a cardinal sign. And so is Capricorn. Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, Libra, cardinal signs. They make choices for people and themselves. So when we look at the first house here, the first house is ruled by Aries. Aries is ruled by your head. The first house shows your body. So, for example, I have Venus here in my first house. Whatever shows up in your first, whatever shows up first, this is just a random tip. Whatever shows up first in your chart is kind of the first thing you're gonna like deal with every day when you wake up. It's like the first thing that's gonna be on your mind. I do think about love a lot, and it's disgusting. It's so sick. I I'm in love with love, but I also know that I'm not. So what shows up first in your chart? You can unmute. I'll unmute you, or you can unmute yourself, either one. Who wants to go first with the first house?
So it literally, you're asking what's in my first house? Like, what is it ruled by?
Yeah, what's the first thing after your ascendant?
I think it's Aries.
Planet, symbol, or anything?
So I'm looking at it now. I think it's ruled by Aries. First house.
Is there any planets or no?
Give me 1 second. I'm going to try and understand what I'm looking at. Hold
Okay.
on.
So if you look at my chart, I do have one planet, Venus. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there.
So first house. I feel like I just want to share this with you so you can see, but sorry. So it's under, there's so many symbols. Sun, what is Uranus? Yeah. Yeah, that looks like Uranus. Could that be right?
Never gets old. Okay. Yeah, 100%.
I literally don't know what I'm looking at. I know.
Okay, so as long as you can identify something in your first house, that's really the goal.
Oh yeah, no, there is definitely a lot going on in my first house, but Uranus looks like it's hanging out there.
Perfect. So that whenever we see anything in the first house, that means that we have that thing to deal with in our body. Think of the planets as a guest in a house, and the house is your first house, and the first house deals with your body. That first house deals with your body. So when your planet's in there, that means that you have a guest accompanying your body, which is a good thing. Anyone else? Sarah, Daniel?
Yeah, I think so. I can't find my I can't find my physical chart.
Here, how about this? I'll just plug y'all in.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay,
I'll do Miri first. Do you mind? Huh?
No, I don't mind sharing it with you, but I feel like there should be a way for me to just send it to you. Isn't there a chat in Zoom? Yeah, chat. Can I put a picture in this chat box?
Totally.
Maybe not. I'm trying to see if it's possible. I don't see if I can. That's okay. Oh, well. Do you want me to try to share it with you? I mean, tell you the date?
I prefer the date and stuff, so I can just pull it up.
Sure. So it's 10/23, 1981. Time is 8:56 a.m. Oh, 8. Location is, I don't remember how it pops up here. So cities, it's Brooklyn, Kings County, New York.
New York.
That's the one.
Cool. So we've got a first house for you as a Scorpio rising. First thing that shows up for you is Juno. Juno is an asteroid. It deals with commitment and loyalty. So that is the first thing that you, on your physical body, create. First house. And your Venus is in here too, or close. Yeah, it's in the first house, positive. And then Uranus, like you said. So usually we have an asteroid or a planet in our first house. And if we don't, totally cool. It's not unnormal or anything. It's just the first thing that comes after your ascendant is the first thing that, you know, will be prevalent to you as a person. Just something cool to know. And if you take the time to learn